I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to see who jumps on here for just a little bit. It's early morning here, Saturday morning. Soldier of Self-Mastery, the world's #1 problem gambling interventionist, live here for just a few minutes. Live and interactive. What am I going to title this? Exactly what it says. They will try to relabel you. Do not accept their label. Hey, Jim. Yeah. My friend Jim, Tucson, Arizona, it's time. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Yeah, shout out to you, man. Just doing some really early morning thinking here today. You know? You gotta keep your, you must keep your bearing. You must keep your bearing. Our GPS system that we have that's internal must be calibrated. Anyways, a little bit of a vine, a little bit of vine juice. Anyhow, what is Jim? What do you got there, Jim? Let me take a look at what you got, bud. Let me see here. We need time for good, intentional thinking. Yes. Quietness. Also. Yes. Intentional thinking. You know, most people don't want us to think, Jim. Most people around us, they want to do the thinking for us. Early morning starts is getting a head start on the world. Exactly. Being ahead of the game. What is the enemy up to on the other side? What is the enemy? This world that we live in. Unfortunately, it is, right? The world that we live in. There's two kingdoms here. There's light and then there's darkness. Yep. And we cannot let them. By the way, gambling's a lie. Gambling is a lie. We can't let them relabel us. That's an absolute no-no. They're gonna try. Jim, they're gonna try and relabel you, I'll tell you that. Good morning, Santos. I'm still fighting it. I will win. 31. A Marshall. Shout out to you for fighting the good fight. Keep going. Keep coming back to this community. You'll get something from this community, my friend. By the way, that I sometimes I forget to say this, but gambling is a lie. Gambling is a lie. It really is. You know that it takes more energy to believe the lie than it does to believe the truth? But then again, the lie is going to be 10 times more powerful than the truth, because in a sense it is. Even though you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. Negative words have a 10 times more, even 12 times more impact than positives. That's why we need to really bombard and soak in and swim and run through the positives. Yes. Anyhow, let me see. But don't let them label you, my friend. Don't let them do it to you. Don't let them. 31 Marshall. Don't let them do it. They'll do it to you. Jim Moto. Jim understands, right? You can't let them label you. I appreciate you. I'm at work. I'll be listening until you're done talking. Appreciate everything. Man, focus on your job. Don't distract yourself from your job, man. You can always watch the replay if I decide to post this. Hey, Rich. Good morning. Needed this weekend's mind drifts the most. Don't let them label you. Don't let them do it to you. Don't let them do it, man. Don't do it. Do not let... Did I say this? Sometimes I forget. Gambling is a lie. Gambling is a lie. Now, I'm going to warn some of you folks out here that are watching, some of the friends that watch my videos, community members, guests. Unfortunately, I've pissed off a few people. So what'll happen is these individuals, they're so-called, I thought they were my family. You'll find them kind of making posts and stuff like that on my videos. Just maybe some of the stuff that they talk about might be even true, right? They post negative stuff, but the problem is that they're posting their side of it, right? They're posting their view of something that they happened at wherever it happened. And you know, I'm trying to work with my technical people here to try to keep everything clean, but unfortunately it's just the way it is. When you're no longer a gambler, when you've turned your back on that kind of people, you've turned your back on that kind of lifestyle, you've turned your back on that kind of mindset, on that kind of culture, on that kind of community, you're going to become a target. Unfortunately, you're going to become a target. Of course, there's more involved in that. It's not just because you left gambling. But when people don't have that kind of righteous growth, mind thinking to change and move away from what's evil and sinful and wicked, they're going to do their best to bring you down. And that's the stuff, see, especially when you're trying. That's the stuff that you really have to watch out for, because that's the stuff that will drown you and will cause you to go right back to the slop. Isn't that the truth, right? In life, when you go through difficulties, when you go through hardships, when things are like, man, why is this happening to me? No, we shouldn't even be asking that. It's our job never to fall back. Never, ever to fall back into that slop that we may have been in the past. Gambling is a lie. Gambling is a falsehood. Gambling is a facade. Gambling is smoke and mirrors. That's all it is. That's all it is, my friend. And you know, gambling comes in different forms, many different forms. Some might be in the casino, some might be in a relationship, some might be a business venture of some kind. But there's experiences that we go through. See, the healthy mind, the person that has a healthy mind is not a vindictive person. The person that has a healthy mind is not thinking going backwards. It doesn't go backwards. The healthy mind is a person that is present. That person he's today, you know, it's about working today. It's about working, yes, learning from the past. You learn from the past, but it's about working towards your future. It's about putting things together. It's about putting things together and working towards your future. So when you've escaped out of the lion's den, if you will, you've escaped out of the lion's den, who has the right to come back with some chains and say, hey, you know what? You escaped. out of the lion's den. I've got a chain. I've got some shackles. Let me put them on your feet. Why are we going to allow someone to entangle us with the past? Yeah, I was there. Yeah, that was me back then. Back then. Today, I'm present here. That's not who we are. Don't let them label you, my friend. Do not let them label you. Gambling is a lie. $4.28. Jim, Los Angeles. What time is it in California? It's 3. It's actually 11. Well, it's actually 4:35 in the morning. So I'm actually surprised I don't have any trolls. Whenever I go on TikTok, it's full of trolls. It's really just, it's a sad, I just do it anyways, but it's a sad situation over there on TikTok, and it's starting to climb over to YouTube. And if it just gets out there, I'll point out names of who's doing it too. Sadly, it's just family, you know. The wife and the daughters, and they're all just, it's all a clan. That's what it is. But I'm not, you know, they're not going to label me. That's the thing. They're not going to label me. They've tried to label me with their fucking bullshit, with their bullshit labels, their fake labels. You know, if you're going to label me with something that's for real. Not a fucking fake label. How am I going to live to a fake label? I already lived to a fake label. That was gambling. And since I'm no longer gambling, I don't have to live to a fake label. Yeah, I can be myself. I'm an imperfect human being. I'm a sinner. Sometimes I'm a fucking tough motherfucker sometimes. But sometimes I can be really, really kind. And you know when you're kind, when you're super kind and you have empathy, you're an empath, the vampires can smell your blood. And you got to toughen up. Unfortunately, you got to toughen up. And sometimes when you toughen up, it's going to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Because there's always going to be somebody out there, people, that you've become a traitor to. Unfortunately, you've become a traitor to, man. When you're no longer running with that crowd, no longer thinking the way they think. You're no longer moving in that direction. You're going in the... You know what? You're making that 2 millimeter turn, like Anthony Robbins says. 2 millimeter. 2 millimeter. Away. Away. Next thing you know, you're off on a different course. Different direction. Yes, it is wonderful Saturday out here in Stockton. Actually, I'm not in Stockton. I'm nearby. I've had a chance to visit with some friends, and it was an okay evening. But I'd rather spend time alone by myself with Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson, or maybe some David Goggins. And of course, my journal. And you guys, if you guys come live, right? I want to interact with you guys. Fuck, man, I'm not gonna let them relabel me. Are you gonna let them relabel you? Will you let them label you? Gambling is a lie. Say it with me. Somebody needs to say this. Gambling is a lie. Any form of gambling, whether it's in the casino, yes, the fake casino, whether it's in the casino with the slut machines. I did say slut machines. Slut machines. Because the love affair is false, man. It's a slut machine. They're not going to be faithful to you. They're not. They're slut machines. It's an unrighteous love affair you're having, my friend, if you're doing it. Or you've had it in the past. I know, because I had one. I had one of those unrighteous. It was horrible. It sucked. It was, I shouldn't say it sucked. It has its allure. Okay, I admit. Yes. The casino has its allure. Like shiny stuff, it'll kind of draw you in if you're not careful, if you kind of think on it too much, right? It will. It'll suck you in like a tornado. A tornado can suck things up in the past. You know, imagine, I heard somebody say in Puerto Rico, when he heard Maria coming, he was in a building and he said it sounded like a freight train. He said it sounded like a freight train. So he hid in the bathtub in the middle of the building. A tall building. He said he could feel the building moving. Well, it did move, actually. It was condominium. But he thought he was going to die in there. He was with his wife, I guess, in the bathtub in the middle of the building itself. And just, we're talking about being sucked in, right? Sucked in. That's what will happen. It'll just suck you. That wind, that vortex, that tornado will suck everything in its path. Oh, it'll suck it in. We must be militant. Have a militant mindset today more than ever, man. I'm telling you, mind, mouth power, congruency should be at a high level today in your life, man. It should be. Mind, mouth power, congruency should be at a very high level in your life today, just like it is in mine. Your bullshit meter should be at a very high level today. Very high level. High. Why? Because so you can smell it when it's in front of you, when it's being spoken to you by the phone or even in comments. You know, people think that I've been online for several years now. People know who I am. I don't have anything to fucking hide from people. If people are just going to come all of a sudden and then you're going to start posting all different kinds of things about me and whatever. They've even got clips of me being angry, right? One-sided. That's what the fucking propaganda does. They give you one-sided stuff. They can't tell you what happened, right? You know, why did Santos get so pissed off? Why did he break a plate? Why? Is that kind of a person he wakes up every day and breaks plates and he's just a destroyer of what? No, man. It's just the way it is, man. When you live your life, when you have values and you have standards. I know some people, I've never had it. I didn't have a good childhood. I grew up with a narcissistic father. I grew up with a codependent mother. I didn't know what a real relationship was. In fact, I didn't know recently until the last couple years what real relationships are. It's weird, man. It's really weird because there's people out in the fucking world today that are so fucking good at the fucking con game. They'll swindle you right out of your money. They'll get right into your bank account, man. That's how good some of these folks are. Santos, how do you know, man? I've had them hit me hard. I've had them hit my mother hard. I've had them kick me down at the time of grieving for a loved one, would you believe? You know, you don't come pounding on somebody's house. You don't act the fool when somebody's grieving with a family member over a loved one, man. You don't do kind of stuff like that. What kind of people does stuff like that? You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff that drives people to go gamble and commit suicide and drink a lot of alcohol and commit ugly atrocities, man. You know what I mean? And it's funny, you know, sometimes I kind of almost feel like that's almost like what I kind of feel like certain individuals would really enjoy seeing in my life. You know, the verbal threats, you know. What kind of a human being would say to another human being, go kill yourself. Go take your life, man. You're not worth living. You know, really, really. What kind of humans? I am beginning to wonder if they're even humans that fucking do that kind of shit. But again, you know, who am I, right? I'm just the world's #1 problem gambling interventionist. I'm just a philosopher of everyday victorious living. Santos Jr. here out of Stockton, California. That's who I am, man. That's my label. What's your label? What are they trying to label you? By the way, gambling is a lie. Gambling is a lie. Say it with me. Gambling is a lie. Any form of gambling. Life is a freaking tough mountain to climb. Well, it is a mountain to climb, that's for sure. You know better, Chief. Trolls will be trolls. Yes, they will be. Good morning, Santos. I'm battling with demons. I want the best version of me, sick, losing every penny. You know what? I'm fucking sick. I'm with you, man. I remember how fucking sick and tired I used to get of losing. Man, I would remember pounding. I would slap myself sometimes in the car. I would cry, but I didn't have, I couldn't get out of it. Back then I just didn't have the mindset. Of course, I didn't have the mindset that I have today. I didn't know how to use a journal that much. I didn't know that I could talk to myself, change my words. I didn't know these things. I didn't know that I could watch some videos, just one video. In fact, Bruce Lee, you know, Bruce Lee said, don't fear the man that has practiced 10,000 kicks. He said, fear the man that has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So I learned very early on that if I watched one video 5 times or 7 times or 8 times or even 15 times or more, one video, I'm being really on the line here. When I first got into YouTube years ago, I know Mike Tyson, the famous Iron Mike Tyson, became a very good boxer, not just through the training, not just through the hypnotic trance, if you will, that Customato trained. In fact, I don't even know why I'm getting into this, but Customato trained Mike Tyson, and he used a lot of images also, not just his words. Customato understood how to get into the 95% of the human mind, something that I endeavor to do with myself. And I would encourage you on the other side too. See, one of the major problems that we all have is that we're trying to change our lives, but what we don't realize is that 5% of our conscious thinking is what we're using to think with. But what's really controlling our behavior is 95% of the brain. And that's in the subconscious, right? Sub, under, unseen, like. So that's what you and I are contending with when it comes to the battle of winning against these things that we're facing. Well, that's what I found. Like, just like Mike Tyson, just like Bob Proctor of The Secret, and who else? Just like Dean Graziosi, just like Grant Cardone. He talks about, he has a 10x rule. It's really about repetition. It's about focusing. Napoleon Hill, in the famous book Think and Grow Rich, he says intensity. He uses the word, I don't think he uses the word intensity, but this is exactly what he means. Intensity with a certain particular thought will produce results. Intensity on a particular thought will produce results. So if you want change, how do you get that thought into the 95%? One of the best ways to do it is through videos. Watching one video like 15, 20, 30 times. That's the truth right there, man. That's the truth about change. Yep, it is. I don't have any credit or debit card anymore to come up with. Advanced credit cards. Get my life to 1 year without cards. Yep, I've been there. I've been there too, man. I'm still working on my credit. Yep. It's tough dealing with enemies who go after us. We only have control over ourselves. It's a great challenge to control our thoughts and emotions. That's right, Jim. It's hard sometimes, man, because, you know, until there's certain experiences that we have to get to. We're moving along, and sometimes we just can't. Sometimes we're not in a position to just hop and skip and just go in a certain direction that we would like to. But it has to be calculated. It has to be worked out. Because, you know, sometimes you want the very best for others. I would never want to hurt anybody. That's always been my motto. It doesn't matter. Even if people have done wrong to me, it's never been my motto to backstab people and be vindictive and, you know, do stuff to people to hurt people, man. That's just totally wrong and unhealthy thinking. But in life, you will be tested. In life, you will fail some tests. You will fail. You will fall flat on your face. In life, you will get up. You will have to, like Les Brown says, if you fall, make sure that you land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. You just don't let them label you. Don't let them label you. Do not let them label you. If you hear anything on this live program today, it's this. Don't let them label you. I don't care if it's your therapist. I don't care if it's your spouse. If it's one of your children, one of the nicest children, do not let them label you. Don't let them do it. Maybe it's a business partner, right? Maybe the business partner thinks that they really know you or they know more than you because you've allowed them to think that way, right? Because all along you really knew. No. Don't allow them to label you. If somebody's going to label you, you know what? Let me label you. Let me label you. You're a soldier of self-mastery. You know you are wonderfully and fearfully made in the image of the Almighty. That's who you are. Take courage and take pride in who you can be, who you are, what your birthright is. Just think about what I'm saying. You know, our bodies, our heart, we have a skeletal system, we have muscle memory, we have a brain, and people are just going to try to impose, even outside of even your home. The United States is a big struggle right now. We can see this. There's such a struggle. It's almost like they're all walking on this huge egg that's cracking. You know what I mean? They're all walking on this egg, like eggshell stuff. And we know what happens, right? Eggshell eventually it's going to give in somewhere. We don't let them label us. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate the donation. Now, I might have forgotten. Hey, thanks, Rich. I appreciate the donation. I might have forgotten to say this, but let me say it again. Let me say it far. Let me say it wide. Gambling is a lie. You keep coming back to my community, and guess what's going to happen? I'm going to pump that phrase, that power phrase that I've used on myself. I'm going to pump it into your mind. And little by little, my friend, you on the other side, you're going to begin to experience shifts in your mind. You're going to begin to experience these things, especially if you're struggling with gambling. You're going to sense them. Gambling is what? Gambling is all forms of gambling, right? What is my job? Somebody said, Santos, what is your job? You know what my job is? My job is to help bring peace into your mind. My job is to help bring peace into your mind, because if I can bring some kind of peace into your mind, your body will take positive action towards the goal of your choice. See, it doesn't matter what my goals are, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what everybody else's goals are. It matters is what your goal is. And that's where you want to be. That's the community. That is the tribe. That's the energy that you need in your life. And when you find that, you fine tune it, and you become a part of that until you evolve. That's why I invite you to come into my community. Did I say this? Sometimes I do forget. I get a little amnesia, and some of you can tell. Gambling is a lie. All form of gambling is a lie. All right? Will you say that with me? All form of gambling is a lie. It is. It's a lie. It's easier believing the truth. Well, the proverb says, the way of the transgressor is hard. The way of the transgressor is hard. But peace have they? Peace have they that follow? I might be off there. Peace have they that follow him or look upon him? I believe the proverb reads like that. But it does say that the way of the transgressor is hard. And my friends, let me tell you something. I'm going through a difficult experience right now, but it's not breaking me. If you get what I'm saying here. It's not breaking me in any way. And as a matter of fact, it's making me stronger. Because there was a time where I would have went right back to the casino. There was a time where I would have went back there. Hook, line, and sinker. I would have went right back there to the slot machines, and I would have set up camp, and I would have said, yeah, you know what? I'll show those people. I'll be there by myself. Nobody knows where I'm at. I'm way back there with the machines. It's my world, right? My love affair. My love affair, right? Oh, they would love to see me go back there. They would love to have images of me back in the casinos, right? Hitting the machines. I was so hooked on those slot machines. They had me. They had my wallet. You see, they say in order to get to a man's heart, you go through his stomach, right? But the slot machine doesn't go through your stomach. It goes through your wallet. and then it gets your bank account. And then it gets your credit cards. And then it begins to get the loans. Also, you get more loans and all of those kinds of things. So I don't go there no more. Thank you for appreciate the Gary Newbar. Thank you for helping me defeat the gambling lie. I now have my life back. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate the contribution, man. Rich Sapani. Appreciate you guys. Hey, listen, I appreciate any contribution. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and talk about stuff, but I try to help people, and what happens is people are falling on hard times, man. I've got a book that I've been working on, and the editor, unfortunately, someone that I met on LinkedIn, and I paid him money up front too. You know, this is money that came from donations, actually. So I use it for things like this, projects. Well, I hope to hear from him again, but I'm glad it wasn't a lot of money. But even $50 or $100 is still a lot of money, you know, or $150 is still a lot of money when you're working with books, editing, and trying to do things of that nature. But I appreciate the contributions. I really do, man. And you know what? Let me tell you something. When you bless this mission that I'm a part of, I guarantee you, man. Listen, I'm gonna sit here. I'll put myself on the line. I'll put myself on the line here, man, because I'm for real. You know, you're looking at one of the most fucking genuine people on the fucking planet, dude. I've got nothing but fucking integrity in my life and fucking love in my heart. And you know, fucking people take advantage of that. They do. But there comes a point in life where you learn, where you know people can't do it to you anymore. Oh, that fucking pisses them off. Man, you have to stand your values, as painful as it is. And you know, my friend, it's lonely. It's fucking lonely at times. So be it. You know, you don't fucking cower down to them. You don't cower down to the names. You don't cower down to their labels. And you don't cower down to the temptations that's out there. There's a lot of temptations that's going to come. We're going to fall. We're going to make mistakes. That's guaranteed. But we don't have to fall in the same old routine. That is a decision. That is an option. I've come to the resolution in my life that whatever I begin to focus on, whatever I talk about the most, it begins to happen in my life. That's why I tell you, gambling is a lie. You come to this community, I can guarantee you, you're going to benefit. You come to this community, you watch some of my videos, you leave comments, you share my videos. Oh, you're going to get a blessing in return. I can guarantee you that. Somehow, in some way, you're going to get a blessing into your life. Because you're tapping into an energy source that's positive. There's no, sure, is there evil in Santos? Of course, there's evil in all of us. But you can tell when somebody's evil. You can stare somebody in the eye and know when somebody's an evil person. You can tell. You can look at their life. You can watch their videos. Hey, my videos are out there. I talk about my life experiences. In fact, sometimes I talk about real personal stuff. I don't have anything to hide. Except for those that are trying to bring me down, that hide behind the masks and false names, aliases, and fake avatars, right? Of course, anybody can do that. Anybody can hide right behind something unless... Now, you can be private if there's a reason why you're private, whatever. Maybe you can't expose yourself, but... I'm talking about bullies, narcissistic people, people with a split personality type behavior, vindictive people, people that will stab you in the back kind of people because you don't agree with them. That kind of people. Anyhow, there's my rant. You know, and I'm going to make my day super fantastic, terrific, and over the top. In spite of and because of, my friends. Yep. Karma, chief, for wrongdoing in gambling. Past, yes, I've had it come to me too. Exactly. Yep. If you need help, proofreading work, I can help. I've done it in teaching. I'll keep that in mind there, Jim. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I had some ghostwriting going on too. You know, it's all right, man. We'll get it. Yep. I'm losing some battles in order necessary to win the war. Well, I don't know if we'll ever win the war. The war will be won by the Lord above in due time. You know, we just need not let people label us. That's it. If anything, right? No labeling. No labeling. That's the key. The moment that we're labeled, forget it. We're going down the path of people pleasing, and that is going to take us nowhere. That's going to take us into a life of complete misery. I'm going to be here for just a few more minutes with you guys here, see if I can answer a few more questions. Maybe, hey, did I forget to say this? Sometimes I forget. I get amnesia. Gambling's a lie. Gambling's a, it might be it's a little skinny lie, but it also is a big fat lie too. And in between, right? Proud American, proud Puerto Rican. I am. I'm grateful to the Lord Jesus Christ today. I'm glad that I'm no longer giving in to the labels of these individuals. Gambling is a sin. Yes, it is. It is a sin. It's a horrible sin. By the way, I want to thank you, Gary, once again. Rich, thank you guys. Slot winner. I feel peace and hope listening to you. I feel safe on your channel. Keep doing what you're doing, Santos. VIP, my local casino. I get tempted sometimes, but I will kill the demons. That's what you got to do. You got to kill the demons. That's right. Kill the desire. That's the best thing to do is kill. Once you kill the desire, it doesn't that sound the best way to do it? Just, you want to stop gambling? Kill the desire. That's it. Focus on killing the desire. Right? That's really it. Well, how are you going to focus on that? How do you kill the desire? I know how I do it, right? How I did it. I did use mind, mouth, power, congruency. Yeah. Take care of mental and physical health. Exercise has been something very good for me the last few days. I've been working through, you know, sometimes when you're getting up in age, 54, 55, you start feeling a little, you know, some of the doors and stuff like that, they creak. You know what I'm saying? You ever have a door inside your house, it creaks? Well, our bodies are like that a little bit. But we have to work through the pain. And you do the physical thing, and it, you know, the physical activity, I've been really pushing myself lately because I need it. It actually helps your brain too. Physical activity helps your brain. You might be aware of that. If you're not, you're aware of it now. It boosts the chemicals. It just helps the pathways in here. You know, and of course you want to be in control, right? You don't want to be living in survival mode all the time like most people are. You want to know when to be in survival mode and when not to be in survival mode. Unlike most people, they're traveling in survival mode most of the time. They just don't know it. You know what I'm talking about here? You guys know what I'm talking about here? I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I think so. By the way, I want to send a shout out to each and every one of you that are with me here this morning, early this morning, this beautiful Saturday morning. You know what? Today is going to be a fucking badass Saturday morning, man. I'm in California. Yeah, it's burning up out there. But it's going to be a badass fucking Saturday because you know what? I choose to make it that way. And that's the way you got to think. Because if you don't think that way, they're going to relabel you and you're going to fall into their trap. Yes, gambling is a lie. Gambling, 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 gambling is a lie. You know what? Here, I want to do this. Let me transfer some of my brain. All right? I want you to bear with me here. I'm going to transfer some of my brain to you, okay? I've never done this before, but I don't even know if this is going to work. I don't know. Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a thumbs up on this one? A thumbs up or two? All right, I'm going to try this here, okay? I'm going to send here. I'm going to take a little bit, okay? Yes, you got to use your imagination. Come on now. You're not going to be the Silence of the Lambs here, okay? I'm not going to... Remember that part of the movie where the guy was kind of took a piece of his brain and he was frying it in the pan and stuff like that? No, don't think that way. Get away from that kind of stuff. That's why I don't watch the movies. Hey, I'm free from gambling, okay? I'll never go back to gambling. Gambling's under my feet. I've got complete control of it for the rest of my life. That's a fact. Let me give you some of this. Can you take it? Here we go. I'll take a deep breath. Take a deep breath when you do this because it may not work. I'm not going to guarantee this. This is an experiment here. Only if you believe. There you go, my friend. Take that piece of brain, man. Let it float into your mind. And let that be a power source for you. So that you can be more stronger. Completely kill the desire. Kill the desire, man. Freedom. 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 You know what that means? That means better Saturdays, better Sundays, better Mondays, more money in your bank account. More money on your rebuild your credit. And maybe a few of those friends that took off, maybe they'll come around. See, that's exactly what they want to do. They want to put a mask on us. They want to label us, right? They want to shut you down. Don't let them do it. Do not let them do it. Dogecoin, yeah, they're going up. I did okay with cryptocurrency this week. I did a little bit okay. I don't know, I might have made $50 or something. Appreciate you, slot winner. Slot winner. I watch all your videos over and over and just keep focused. Appreciate, man. Yep, gambling is a big fat lie. And take notes. Keep a journal for yourself. You know? Keep a journal for yourself and you can turn it into a book. That's what I did. You know? Just turn it into a book. Embrace the suck. See? Embrace the suck on the back. That's what needs to happen. The Little Red Book, How to Defeat Gambling Addiction in 7 Days or Less. You'll end up writing your own book, my friend. Shout out to those of you watching on this Saturday morning. I hope that you're getting something on this broadcast. I mean, you're here with me. I barely have light here, and you're hanging out with the soldier. That kind of says a lot about you. Appreciate you on the other side. Appreciate you on the other side. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. You got a question? Anyone have a question for me this morning? Oh, hey, you know, sometimes I forget this. So, yeah, because I get amnesia every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? It's just temporary. It's all it is, just temporary. Gambling is a lie. Gambling is a lie. Lie. Gambling. I have control. I have control. I decide. Not the gamble, not the casino. I decide. That's right, my friend. Oh, there's Cephas. They're out. Shout out to Nigeria there. Yep. How long did it take me to kill the desire? It took me all the way going back to 2014, my friend. 2014 I lost what? Probably about $1 million. I lost some land. I lost a home, an Airbnb place. Possibly could have been a really nice Airbnb. Who knows what I could have done with that thing. My car's gone. $25,000 I paid for that machine. But it wasn't a loss because Ford actually paid me back for that car. 32 years of on and off gambling. I was homeless. I lived in a hotel for about a month or two. And then we went to a shelter for about 2 months. 3 months. And because I served my country basically paid me back in benefits. So when I began my new journey in 2014, I began to climb out of that hellhole that I was in, that dark jungle. I had to crawl from under a big rock. So what did I do? I journaled. I watched videos. I changed the way I talked to myself. I remember I was going to work and they would laugh at me. They would say, "Who do you think you are talking that way?" Because I had a negative talk before. So when you change the way you talk, people will notice that. And they might even poke fun at you. So beware that one. Watched a lot of videos. I started making videos. I started sharing my story. I created some t-shirts along the way. I've had some businesses along the way. I've been burned and taken advantage of by many people along the way. That's another thing that you have to be very, very careful of. When you stop gambling, you're a vulnerable person. Something happens in the chemistry of your brain. And if you're not careful, you can easily be taken over by things that you're not really kind of aware of or focused on when it comes to money. For me, it happened. It won't happen for all of you because maybe all of you are smarter than me when it comes to money. Unfortunately, I didn't have that privilege. I just kept doing what I was doing, man. I kept telling people around me, you know what, I'm going to lick this thing. I'm going to overcome this thing. God's perfect will, His grace is going to enable me to win over this thing. And I just kept believing that. I kept saying it to myself. I kept watching the videos. I kept listening to people like Anthony Robbins. I read the Bible every day. I read a proverb every single day. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. See, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So all of these wonderful things, therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. You know, I heard somebody say that the other day. I heard somebody quote that. That's in the Bible. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17, I believe. I haven't read that in a while, but I remember it because I memorized it somewhat. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. But you know what was really strange? That I hadn't seen any change in this person. That person was actually quoting that verse. But when I look at that person's life, the patterns, I can't say that that person's actually changed for the better. Isn't that ironic? Or what is that? Oh, it's all me. I'm the one, you know, again, if you let them label you, they'll label you crazy. The problem is you don't understand. You don't see things the way that you should see things, the way that we see things. No, 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 no. I'm not buying what you're selling. I smell it, and it ain't gonna happen. Pain or no pain, it ain't gonna happen. Don't let them label you. Don't let them label you. All right, just a few more minutes here. I'm gonna get on the road. Thank you guys for for over $1 million loss, and you make it. My thought, no matter late, get backtrack. Coach Santos, by the way, 9 a.m. Great. Yep, 9 a.m. I'm getting ready to go get some rest. I spent the evening with some friends, had a decent time. You learn, live and learn, right? Hey, as long as you're not out hurting people and doing wrong, you can live with a clean conscience. Jim Rohn lost millions. He said it didn't matter. He got it back because of the person he was. Yeah, the mindset. That's right. That's right, Jim. So, thank you guys for contributing. I appreciate all you guys. I'm going to be going live tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard. Join me. It's going to be we're going to have the studio. Hopefully, I don't know how long the studio is going to be up for. I may end up losing my studio temporarily. Hey, it's okay. It's part of life. But I still got my studio here, and the world is out there. We can make videos wherever. As long as it comes from the heart and you're a person of integrity, you can do good out there. Right? That's the way I see it. And you got integrity, accountability. Yeah, you fail, right? We all make mistakes. I'm not looking for perfection. Perfection is just a cliche. What we look for is to get better, right? I want to be better today than I was earlier. I want to be better over the next few hours. I want to be better over the next few hours than I was in my past hours. I want to be better tomorrow. Lord willing, if we wake up. I want to be better. Have that mindset every single day, right? Have that mindset. And know where we should be in life, where we shouldn't be. How we should respond versus reacting. I've reacted. I've been caught in videos reacting to situations. Exactly. I've been caught reacting. What was I reacting to? Listen, my friends, we know it's a fact. It's a fact. We know it's a fact. You don't push a wounded warrior. You do not push a wounded warrior. The wounded warrior will only resist so much. And the wounded warrior will respond with even greater force if necessary. And that's what the warrior thinks about, that he doesn't want to be put in that situation. The warrior does not want to be experiencing that type of situation in his life, but the warrior is ready and prepared. And my friends, you know, when I say the warrior, I'm not talking about, we've got brothers and sisters. I served in the military. I've been in combat, 1986. We've got our brothers and sisters right now in combat, physical combat. We pray for them. What's happening in these other areas of the world. But the big battle for you and I is not physical, not necessarily physical. It's more of a mental battle. Even though for the warrior that's out there physically fighting, it is a mental battle. I know because I've been through boot camp. I know what they train you. I know how they train you to think. But we must also train now in these times that we're in, because it is the mind. It is the battle. Imagine if they can get your mind. Imagine if they can get you to think. Imagine if the machines can literally rewire your brain. So I'm not worried about the machines rewiring my brain, because that's done. That desire is killed. I'd be more concerned about human beings at this point in my life. I'd be more concerned, right? Which is my concern. You don't associate with people that are in darkness. You don't associate with people that are vindictive. You do not associate with people that are kind of like gossipers and backstabbers. You don't associate with people like that, because eventually you'll become just like them. They show up now. And sometimes it's hard. You can't just get away that easily, right? It's amazing how these things happen in life, you know? Something happens and it's like the snake head is showing up and, okay, I got to deal with this now. You know, but always remember every morning before you start your day, deal with it right here. Be mindful. You know, we can practice thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do today. This is my value. Gambling is a lie. That's one of my biggest values. Gambling is a lie. Gambling will lead you nowhere. Gambling will lead you down a path of horror. It'll lead you into a path. It'll lead you into the abyss. It'll lead you into your own abyss, if you will, if that makes sense, right? We talk about the abyss, but you have an abyss that you will be led into personally, that nobody will completely ever understand. Isn't that the horrible way to think? And there's people that want to drag us there. There's people that are willing to try to drag you there. That's what we need to be aware of. All right, my good friends, shout out to all of you. Jim says, my comfort zone is the avoidance of dealing with physical pain and fatigue and the fear of thinking I'm wasting my time in a venture. Follow your heart, Jim. You got to follow your heart, man. You got to follow your heart. Whatever your heart is talking to you about, put it on a piece of paper, write it down, and follow it, my friend. Rich says, yup. So, also, Rich says, comfort zone is also a weakness, hard to get out. What I would do is I would begin on a piece of paper and I would say, I'm in my comfort zone. I know this is my weakness. I'm making a plan right now to move away. I'm making a plan to move away. Piece of paper, just like that. I'm in my comfort zone. Look at it for what it is, right? If you can't, it's one of the thing about bullies, man. They hide. The bullies and the trolls, they hide, right? You can't see them for what they really are. So you can't really deal with them effectively. But whatever you can identify in your life, that has to be identified. Somehow, some way it has to be identified. You got to come in contact with that thing. There has to be a release, right? There has to be a tear away. There has to be a closure for you to progress, for you to move away, for you to become stronger, for you to become dedicated to your personal value, to what it is that you believe in. You know, Anthony Robbins talked about raising the standards up. What happens when you raise your standards? Well, some people aren't going to like it. It's not going to fare. Like they say, it's not going to bid fair with people. So we have to determine, okay, well, do I want to be at odds with these people, more or less on the borderline of pleasing? Do I want to please people? Or am I willing to step away from that dark jungle, that black mold, the valley of the shadow of death, right? The valley, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. He says, you lay me down in green pastures. You lead me beside the still waters. You restore my name for his name's sake. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. You prepare a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forevermore. Listen, I'm not a church person. I don't go to church. I'll never step foot in a church. But I believe that there's a God above that is watching over all of us, especially the elect. Who are the elect? I don't know, but the word elect shows up quite a bit in the Bible. The elect. It has to do with election. It's a label that I'm very careful with. Am I one of the elect? Are you one of the elect? That is a label that carries big responsibility. So does non-gambler. So does philosopher of everyday victorious living. So does soldier of self-mastery. And I would encourage you to call yourself a soldier of self-mastery. Whether you're a woman, whether you're a man. Call yourself a soldier of self-mastery. If you're going to let a label come upon you, what I just shared with you, take that into your business. Take that into your home. Let it empower you. Let it turn on the furnace in your heart. Let it be like coals igniting. Maybe it's like some coals in a little igloo. Just ignite those coals. Let that fire up in your system, in your spirit, man. Be reminded throughout the day. When it gets hard, when it gets difficult, and when you're having a good time, like right now. Maybe Dr. Jordan Peterson would say something like that. We're having a good time here. Are we lobsters? I don't know. Yeah. All right, my friend. And let me see who else. All right. There was Slot Winner. There was Cephas that was on here. Who else was on earlier? There was Rich Sapani. Steven. There we go. Steven. Karma Chief for wrongdoing and gambling past. We all have it coming. Somewhat. And thank you guys for contributing. I appreciate all you guys. You know what? Go out there and make your Saturday happen, man. Gambling is a lie. Gambling is a lie. Go out and make it happen. I salute you. Straight through peace, my friends. And label yourself something good. What is your label? On my next broadcast on Sunday, I'd love to hear what your new label is. Maybe I'll even share a new one for myself with you guys. Sunday, 7 p.m.